Hello, everybody. Average Gamer. Welcome to another episode of Supreme Ruler Ultimate as China. So, what are we doing? Well, we're still working on economy-wise. We're still working on a bunch of things. We're still doing stuff with our special forces down here. You are units that I wasn't expecting, so you can just go to reserve. What we're going to be doing over the next little bit still is kind of repositioning some troops and talking about some ideas. Unfortunately, you can't do anything clandestine, right? Like, you can't do anything in the game that will cause a larger conflict, theoretically. Now, theoretically, though, if we went to war, say, with Iran, and some American units then violated our territory or something, then yeah, we could go to war with the U.S. and have 100% grounds to do so. Which isn't that far off, say, from modern NATO, say, for example. Say for example, right now there's I keep saying say for example today. I don't know why. So right now we currently have a war going on in Syria in real life. And Turkey has gotten a little, we'll say, antsy with what's going on over there, which, makes complete and utter sense in your own defense, right? If someone's fighting in your back, in your next door to you, and every now and then something hits the fence, doesn't come into your doesn't go over the fence, it just gets up against the fence. What's going on, right? I mean, your neighbors are having a bunch of people over, they're all fighting. You're going to be slightly concerned as to what's going on. So, recently there was or not recently, but a little while ago there was a Turkish, it's not 100% sure what happened, but basically a Russian aircraft was shot down. The Russians say it was shot down in Syria. I think it's over here somewhere. They said it was shot down in Syria by the Turkish Air Force. But then the Turks say it was actually over here in Turkey and was shot down because it crossed over the border. So that's a little thing going on there. Now, unfortunately, you can't do that in Supreme Ruler now, where if you're fighting, I mean, I can do airstrikes, say, on Syria, or against anybody that I'm at war with. Catch-22, though, with all that, is that, I mean, I could tell my aircraft to go over someone else's neutral territory. Like, say right now we're fighting in, I don't know, say Syria's fighting Jordan, and we're an ally of Syria. Theoretically, we could land aircraft on a Syrian base, tell them to engage anybody, and then fly over and bomb. Well, obviously, we would have to declare war, and then we could start dropping bombs, say, on Jordan. But if we told them, hey, fly over anybody, I don't care, or we can even tell pathing. You can tell the AI, hey, don't care about Lebanon. You can go through Lebanon without any issues. I believe you can do it through here. It's one of these options. I think it's this one. There you go. So you can tell them to go around it automatically, or you can go to war on incursions. You can specifically tell them, hey, go around Lebanon. Hey, do me a favor. Make sure you go around Israel. Is that Golden Mayor? Yeah, it is Golden Mayor. Nice. But, 9 times out of 10, you don't tell your aircraft what to do. You just tell them, hey, go from A to B, get there as fast as you can, and drop a bomb. Now, theoretically, we could have issues where we tell them to do other things that, obviously are looked at positively and start a larger conflict, right? Like the issues we were having down here, where the Americans were being supported. Oh, finally, yeah, they took that territory back. Nice. Where the Americans were supporting Malaya, and we're landing and using troops. We're using helicopters. Theoretically, we could have declared war against the Americans and gone to war with them. Though, right now, we wouldn't have the fleet. We would have to island hop through Alaska, probably. And even then, we'd be running into massive supply issues. So, I mean, if you look at the supply situation already, it's already pretty shitty. And we'd probably be fighting off American amphibious attacks all along our coast. So, if we ever go to war with the U.S., we're already going to be moving troops over. Like, we're going to have troops pretty much stationed in a position to hit Hawaii. I think Yeah, maybe the Marianas. I think this is Japanese. No, no, Palau. Micronesia, Guam, and Mariana. Okay, so we probably would have troops in these four locations with warships, getting ready to walk over them. I think this is the British Solomon Islands, Fiji, New Hebrides, Australia, Papua New Guinea, and the Dutch New Guinea. Okay. Interesting. Dutch New Guinea, Indonesia. Oh, okay. So the color's just a slight difference. Okay. I thought this was all Indonesia. So the plan will be to do a strike against these four islands. Obviously, why is... Oh, okay, so I thought Midway was... Midway's not built upon. Take it also with a hard hit Hawaii, and then hit the Attu Islands as well. 'Cause we have these ones. But we'd probably land... Attic? Where is... Interesting. Isn't there Far Harbor? Not Far Harbor. Oh my god. I don't remember the name of the town. There should be another one in here somewhere. Anchorage, Port Richardson. There's Fairbanks. So, either way, we'd end up landing, taking Alaska, and then we'd have to decide what we were going to do with Canada. We'd end up having to go to war with them if we want to do the classic invasion through the north. We probably would do something here in the south. If anything, we would probably utilize these territories down here, probably Cuba specifically, only because it's just a short hop. We can land troops around Miami here, capture Miami, and then push up the peninsula, which wouldn't be as hard as a full throttle invasion in the Pacific. We would probably mass our troops down here and just punch up as fast as we could, utilizing a significant amount of aircraft and special forces into Florida here, especially with Tampa and Miami being down here. We got two good ports that we could land troops in. Our only big issues will be the American Navy coming down and giving us a righteous spanking. Because, I mean, if you look right now, in this area alone, they've got a massive superiority of warships. So, we have the technology, but they have the warships. We'd have to use a lot of aircraft with anti-shipping missiles and have them patrolling back and forth a lot, because we would be utilizing this spot right here as a massive transport hub. Or even just here. Because we probably land a lot of troops in Cuba. Which I still might do anyways, just to kind of offset the Americans, maybe force them to bring some troops in and fortify maybe a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to come up with a decision as to what we're going to do there, because I kind of want to make a move on the U.S. soon. Only because they are our only threat at this point. If we take them over and start running them over, we'll probably have massive financial problems long term. I mean, we don't do any trade with them. We don't do anything associated with that. What I'm talking about is like internally. They probably have a lot, and I mean a lot, of stuff that's going to cause us long-term problems. I don't know if when it comes to utilization of resources, how they're doing here. So they have a massive, and so do we, deficit in agriculture and rubber. That would probably be offset. So we might be neutral with the rubber. Timber, which would be good. We might end up neutral in the timber. Petroleum, yeah, probably end up being neutral in the petroleum as well. We actually might end up in a bit of a deficit for oil, but we're not at 100% utilization. Coal, I still have agriculture picked, son of a bitch. So rubber, we might, you can see the little lighter blue there. Looks like we might be okay with the rubber. Timber, we might have to build up some more timber. I don't think we'd have any problems with oil. No. Not only do we have a massive, massive surplus of oil, but we also have, significant amount of production available. So we're good there. Coal, we don't use coal. The Americans do, probably because of their power, which over time will swap those into nuclear anyways. Metal ore. They use a lot of metal, Jesus. We might have a problem with that. Uranium, they're one of the primary users of uranium, so. Electrical power, they're good on electrical power. So I think that could be offset. Consumer goods, they're good for consumer goods. Industrial goods, they're not good for industrial, but we have a massive surplus. And military goods, we're good and they're good. Okay. So theoretically, if we were to go to war with them, I'm going to assume the after effects. What are you? You another island? No, you're French Polynesia. Okay. What about you? French Polynesia. Okay. And you? U.S. Palau. Wait, weren't you U.S. Palau? Okay. I remember some of this. Okay. So, here's the idea. Plan number 1. We start a massive buildup in Cuba and invade the U.S. via Florida and have to deal with all their economic issues, because I'm pretty sure they are in the hole money-wise pretty bad. Yeah, they are, yeah. They have tons of allies which would come to their help, and we wouldn't be able to do anything until they attacked. Or we can stomp Europe right now. Take Europe, solidify it, see what we can do. Or solidify our hold in the Pacific first. So go after Japan, the Philippines, India, Afghanistan, and Iran. So get rid of those 5 countries, kind of solidify ourselves a little bit. We have an ally down here, and that would kind of solidify our stuff here. Plus, we also would have the population of India and bring that in. We'll probably bring down our GDP, and economically, they're probably not in the greatest situation. Click on them. They probably have a deficit as well, right? Yeah, they do. They got a population of 600 million versus our 900. They have good military. They only have 1 ally, and that's Portugal. Their people are not happy with them, so there actually may be... I don't know if there could be a military coup there or not. We have enough troops on the border already to do strikes if we wanted to. Our number 1 concern would be the beginning of the war. They may be very offensive and could possibly cause some problems until we were able to kind of collect things a little bit. I would be kind of tempted to declare war on East Pakistan and just bring troops in and land them and kind of capture this and use this as a jump off, or this base as a jump off. But right now, that is... Oh, why do I have... Wow, that's the colors? Okay. So the colors of East Pakistan right now, I mean, we could try to help them a little bit and give them independence. Basically, bring troops in and land and slowly take it and then give... I'm just trying to figure out how we can give them this territory here, right? Because they would end up with this no matter what. This was parts of India. Because they lost the independence, but then Some of the units, I think, started back up around here somewhere, and were able to move back up. Or, so I can't remember exactly how that happened. It was definitely a little tweak here. Or, what we might just do is just declare war on India and them at the same time, and just roll right over them. That's an idea. Our supply is really good. Our line of sight's really good with them. But like I said, one of the things I'm worried about is basically just our overall sphere, right? Right now, our main sphere of influence is the Pacific, or at least Asia. Asia is the big thing, right? Which is pretty much everything from here over. So we would still technically have the Philippines, Japan, India, Afghanistan, and Iran to deal with. So it's definitely one of those things where I wouldn't mind having a buffer, though, between us and Europe. So I'm also contemplating doing possibly an attack on Eastern Europe, puppeting all those countries, and then withdrawing. So basically having all the countries here as puppets. Is when I also bring up the loyalty picture here. We can break up Yugoslavia, but Yugoslavia is really not a threat because they love us. I mean, all these countries over here in Eastern Europe love us. I mean, Turkey doesn't like us. I'm not too worried about that, though I don't like the fact that they have the Turkish Straits. I'm pretty sure we don't have any ability to get in and out of the Turkish Straits. So theoretically, we could go to war with Turkey just so we can get a way to get the fuck out of the Black Sea if we could. If right now we have no... I don't think we have a fleet in the Black Sea. Because I don't think we do. Yeah, I don't think we do. Yeah. So we have no ships right now in the Black Sea. So that is a bit of a problem. So maybe going to war with Turkey. And then just annexing the Straits. Or declaring war on the Straits itself. I mean, that does then cause a war with Turkey, though. I mean, all we'd have to do then is build up troops here and slowly work our way around. Which wouldn't be too hard, because we could easily just overpower Turkey. And just take it and annex the whole thing. That would put us in a position here where we could press down the Persian Peninsula. That's an idea. So many different ideas, and I know it's getting aggressive, and I didn't want to play the aggressive game for a little while. I wanted to kind of work on the economy and figure things out a little bit. Take a sip of my coffee here. But I feel as though our country's gotten to the point now where it's big, it's powerful. I mean, our people are starting to like us, and I know if we go to war, our people are not going to be happy about that, so... I'm kind of contemplating. I'm also contemplating on trying to get this going a little bit better. Getting our GDP up. But I know as our GDP goes up, so does our cost of stuff. So, on the bright side, a lot of our materials, such as food and stuff like that, are on the cheap. We can raise our prices internally to kind of crush all that. So that's not a problem. But yeah, we're kind of at I want to say, a fork in the road. Do we go the peaceful way for a little bit at least, and kind of work on things economy-wise, relations-wise with a few people? Or do we just go YOLO mode and, say, invade India, or even make an aggressive move in the Pacific? I'm thinking if any aggressive moves we make are going to be on Japan and the Philippines first. And then obviously if we decide to then stay central to the Pacific or to Asia first, obviously that's the Middle East and the India. So this whole area here will be our next big push and aggressive move. And then it'll be deciding, do we want to link up here in Africa, or do we want to maybe even increase our footprint in Central America? Maybe make a move on Jamaica. The Bahamas are not independent yet, but maybe if we landed troops, take Jamaica real quick. I mean, we could probably bring our special forces over once they're done being created. Bring them over here, land them. Oh, actually, I'm going to probably use a special aircraft, another aircraft carrier, a small deck carrier, with some cruisers and destroyers as escort, and use that. Actually, that's not a bad idea, actually, now that I think about it. Let's do that. So right now, ships-wise, I want a short deck carrier. There we go. Converted VTOL carrier. I just want to see, though. So you can only carry one aircraft. So if we actually wanted to do... Well, this is converted. So that carries two. So theoretically, if we did two of those... So, you know, this thing here carries two. This is almost like an LST. Carries two, that carries four. We don't have anything that carries aircraft other than carriers. So we're going to build two of these LHAs because they each carry two aircraft, which means we can use 4 units of special forces, or we can do 2 units of special forces. I'm thinking 2 units of special forces just because it's easier. This is going to be our special forces group here. You can carry missiles, and that's just 100. Well, actually, these Serenity class ships are pretty fucking powerful. We'll have a couple frigates with them too, probably. So we're gonna go 3 of you. We're gonna go over here. Then I'm gonna go. You can do missiles as well, right? Yep. So you're a little closer in. So we're gonna do then 5 destroyers and 2 frigates. Gonna click back on this one and throw in a submarine as well. Actually, we already have 30 attack subs. But we'll throw in 2 more subs. This will be our special forces fleet. In the meantime, we have 82 ships there and 90. Whoa, shit! Who's there? There. Wow, we got a lot of ships in reserve here. Where's the aircraft carrier? You're right there. Okay. A couple of Serenity class. How many do you hold? The 4? You're the long deck carrier, though. So you'll probably be the special forces. We don't have any VTOL aircraft. Because theoretically, we use 2 of those VTOL. Actually, yeah, if we did 2 of the VTOLs, we'd use 1 as a attack helicopter, actually. We're doing 2. Okay, good. So we can do 2 special forces and then 2 attack helicopters. The attack helicopters will actually support the attack. One other thing I wanted to build, now that I'm thinking about it, is some supply ships. None of this shows how much tonnage. That's 1,800, 600, 120, 200. Is this all in order? Yeah, they're all in order from the looks of it. 250. 1,800 tons. Well, no, these are all LSTs. Those are all landing ships. I actually want a cargo ship. There's the troop ships as well. None of these are supply ships, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, surface target, yeah. I don't have any supply ships. They're all landing ships. Okay. You should show... No, you're the wrong thing altogether. My options. Show obsolete units. There we go. You're building 14, you're building 7, so I want to do you there. I gotta change it because it's set to easy right now. I was doing some videos the other day, yesterday, trying to do some tests. Then I gotta change all that stuff back up. There we go. Large cargo ship. 5,000 tons. With that fleet, I want at least 2 of you. Okay. And actually, let's see here. We're going to reset you. Is there anything here I can use to... Interesting. Show grids inside of line of sight, eh? Check this slider out. I'm going to maximize it. Graphics. I'll turn you off. Turn you off. We'll see, some of this is going to... Set you to low first. I mean, I can set it to even high resolution as well. We're going to keep that at low for the moment. I just want to see... how all that may affect the game itself. Right, but that is also the end of this episode, so we're setting up our fleets for Special Forces. Oh, look at that. Each country has its own color now. Hey, that's a lot better. I like that. Let's unpause real quick and see how it's going to affect the game. Game seems to be running a lot faster now, too. Oh, let's get these trade arrangements. You all want to buy shit, right? Yeah, that's the way you always are. Let's see how... Now, some of this I need to reset, obviously, to get it going a little bit better, but... it still hangs a little bit. Got a new graphics card, so... oh, yeah, it's really hanging now. So it's still doing the once-a-day hang. Alright, well, we'll have to test it out, see how things go. But until next time, see... oh, actually. Let me change this stuff back here. Perfect. Just wanted the political set to reach a little harder. World volatility, great events. Good to go. Alright, so until next time, see you guys then. Bye-bye.